Well, first of all, thank you so much for the opportunity, for coming in and, making this possible for the college that people get to hear what we do, and especially myself. I'm a lead professor for College of Education, specialized teacher training tracks, the courses that we offer in Guidance College. Along with we do a lot of community outreach programs as well, and inclined toward community education. So, great question. At Guidance College in general and specific in my class, when we talk about cultural diversity, usually there's a known like it's about food, dresses, culture, religion. Uh, but be honest to you, we go beyond this, especially in my classes. What I teach my students is about the mental models, understanding mental models, and especially your own mental models, and able to frame in such a way that you have mindfulness by the help of emotional intelligence, understanding how you place every situation, every person, not only in your school or in your community and your workforce, to have more successful understanding of culture diversity. But the important part is sensitivity. You're living in a generation which we are so blessed to have at least five different generations. Baby boomers to all the way to generation Gen Z. We got to be very understanding, like what certain things that trigger them. And in our classroom at Guidance College, not only necessarily just teaching them about theories, but also my personal experience, travel around in many countries, but most importantly, working in the area of education to know what we need to know to be able to prepare our future teachers in classroom to make our students successful on all those different things that we talked about. But again, going back to the concept of it, but when I looked at myself when teaching, cultural diversity is by mental models, and we got to able to align those to the others. So one of the important things that I really bring to Guidance College to my students, understanding from the corporate sector, is a lot of times what happened in our students who graduate, especially the younger generation, not realizing that there's so much that take place in the corporate America. For instance, the one thing that we emphasize is more on the case studies. So it's not just a practical theory aspect to it, but we have case studies. For instance, an example of a glass ceiling. How do you able to navigate through glass ceiling? This is the upper understanding of corporate leadership, or the basic understanding how you teach them the concept of followership. What is to be a good follower for you to be in order to lead an organization? It doesn't matter a nonprofit or corporate sector to it. And when we follow through a followership, it goes into it, then you need to understand how do you able to learn from others. Again, it go back to the part again that you got to humble yourself. But again, it's not just a technical faith-based, context, but from the case studies, from the theoretical aspect. So what I have learned over the time, not only in oil and gas or health industries, and educational side of it, able to give them all at one stop, so they can able to be successful, and understanding those challenges that they have to face and how they navigate through those challenges, and most important, to be successful in their role. Yes. So one of the things that very important to me myself, coming teaching at Guidance College, first of all, I as a faculty have to have a passion for what I do. You're not able to translate that to the students if you don't have a passion for it. So a lot of things that we have done at Guidance College, the course that we offer, teach about the nonprofit, the social impact in a society that they do. So that is the main important part of our teaching at Guidance College. It's not just merely about just bringing change or bringing the project, but understanding the whole concept about what it to be a servant leadership. I mean, it's a simple word like servant leadership, serving something, but how do you able to do that in yourself first in order to create those projects and impacts? The recent projects that I remember that we have done, and that's very like heart touching as well, is that we have students that came to my classroom and they want to do something different, particularly in East Asia. As most of you know, East Asia may not have a predominant a Muslim population. So we have chosen this country called Cambodia, because the important part of Guidance College is to also, we have the concept of dawah as well. They're saying mercy through action. So we want to make sure that I have this in our courses and our teaching at Guidance College. So like long story short, we go to hotels all the time and there are a lot of souls that are left behind. So the students that were on a trip and they realized in Cambodia, a lot of mothers, they're washing their clothes for their young youth kids with the very high toxic detergents like chemicals. So by contacting the hotel industries in America, recycling the leftover soaps and able to pack them, and you believe it or not, it's few containers, thousands of pounds. They were able to send to Cambodia. They were able to get in a send of shape of the soap, and the joy they have on their faces and the impact they have made. But it's have a multiple tiers. So you have to communicate with the corporate America, like a Hilton hotels and stuff. How do you communicate that message? When the message is delivered, then there's a logistic piece to it. When that part is done, then how you able to do the shipping part and able communicating locally, the culture aspect to it. But most importantly, you as a person of faithful person, as a Muslim and Islamic or however you the society label you, we are Muslim at the end of the day, but the way the society label us, we have to make sure the social impact is way greater than what the media have portrayed us. So we do this project. And I also want to, another important thing about guidance college that I teach is that we don't have to emphasize necessary in the predominantly Muslim countries. Our responsibility is far bigger than just our own community, because that's what Prophet have done. So those are the courses, those are techniques. And if they don't have a project building abilities or capabilities, I'm able to share some with them as well. So they can able to, brainstorm it and then able to digest it and able to find out a creative way to deliver those. So it's a very important question that you have brought it in. STEM and entrepreneurship. That's not necessarily just how we teach, but this is a demand in us. You'll be surprised if you go to high school, the generation that we're living in, because of technology on their fingertips, they're all thinking about it. So as a guidance college, our responsibility as a college, how can we be able to train our teacher in a lesson plan or curriculum that they offer, have some piece of that as well. So if they're teaching, instead, for instance, of teaching the NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, science-related stuff, they need to figure out, okay, what industries are related to it. For instance, tilapia fish, right? And this big farming that's taking place, they're predominantly of, farming fish. They're not found in the wild caught. So what does take place into it? Can I do something in my backyard? Can I do in my house? So we have projects that we able to train our teachers and they take back to the classroom. And believe me or not, students are able to create those projects like growing tilapia in your house, but you're learning the whole STEM aspect, but encouraging you the entrepreneurship. But one important part that we always attach entrepreneurship at guidance college is a concept of tawakkul, because at the end of the day, you have to be risk taker, right? So risk taker with education doesn't sound like it goes side by side, but we do such a great job at guidance college that we're able to deliver both in a way that is become really socially impactful, responsible, and also uplifting in the areas of education that are we missing in our Islamic schools and our community centers and so on and so forth. And I'm glad that you brought this question. When we talk about the law enforcement and, obviously with the Department of Justice, one of the things Guidance College, I think we are so proud that we are the first college in the North America to be introducing the full curriculum and educational material to the American justice system, which means the jails. So the inmates will have the ability now to pursue Islamic education while they're locked in. Before in the past, either they get the material or they have some kind of podcast, but they're going to have a proper Islamic college courses that also tailor to their needs. Again, they are not the average American Muslim or average American in general that are going to be pursuing this. So we have to tailor that to their needs to make them understand certain concept, but just not only for a religious aspect, but make sure when they come back, they become a contributing citizen to their communities, to their societies. So we're very proud about this. And one of the things that we emphasize, myself as a professor in a classroom, teaching those tools and again, giving them the sense of it, like not just stops in the classroom, but once you leave guidance college, you have a social responsibility to carry on the areas that you're going to be going in, either in law enforcement, in political arena, in healthcare, or going back to the classroom as a teacher. So going back, for instance, like I have also served in Bosnia Herzegovina, Sarajevo, and Albania, and from some Russian states as well. One of the things that I do as a professor at guidance college, so I have 75-25% ratio of my lectures to guest speakers. So I have a very high impact faculty members, community leaders in those countries. They come into the classroom for that day as a professors, and I give them in advance as what the topic is about, and they teach at guidance college. So imagine yourself used to living in somewhere, and we have students from all over the world that come to guidance college. But in this case, you in North America, particularly like Houston, Texas, and you're getting taught by a professor from Dagestan, who have impacted either in the sheep industry, and then how they have given back to the community, to the low income, and invest in education, to understanding that their perspective, with the resources they have. And it's not just merely a story, but it's also an educational theory-based, concept that comes in. And that's not easy to find. Most of college, you go in, they have a professor that comes in. You may have guest speaker once in a while, but I make sure we have 3 to 4 guest speakers for different part of continent. Every semester, there are different speakers, and they have impact made in their community. And we want to make sure not only connect them. And one thing I emphasize this, and that's very important, as a listener listening to us, guidance college and myself, I believe your network is your net worth. So we give them this gift when they graduate from guidance college. Accessibility. They may not have accessibility. For instance, if they want to go travel to Saudi Arabia and they have a particular project, I have personal contacts in the government, so make sure that they can able to connect it directly to those officials. If they want to travel to Russia, to Dagestan, we have people there as well. Coming to guidance college, by us knowing that you are that dedicated student that want to make an impact, we're happy to connect you with those entrepreneurs, educators, politicians, that whatever dream that you want to pursue, even you never step a single day, because we are not traditional a mortar, a brick college, and not having this and still having access to the global leadership, global entrepreneurship opportunities, that unheard of. So we at Guidance College proud to offer that to our students. Historically speaking, when the Guidance College was established in 2012, the goal is for students to travel from North America to go overseas to pursue Islamic education and come back. Our great founder, Dr. Malik Kudas, vision is how can we bring the East to the West, but most importantly, without compromising the authenticity of our faith and the teaching of it. We may have things that we change based on the norm and the culture, but we never compromise in terms of the authenticity, organic aspect of what our faith teaches us, or how it's been 1400 years ago, but we definitely able to tailor to the needs of North America. But as the time progress, as things are changing, the technology is changing so much, I encourage, and matter of fact, we have folks that are attending. They may not be attending the whole master's program. They may take some courses such as cultural diversity, entrepreneurship. So I highly encourage for our community leaders, because believe it or not, that's the only place most of our youth are going and seeking guidance, mentorship, or a place that they find peace. Predominantly majority of our Muslim next generation are not going to Islamic schools. They are going to the public schools. And the time they get a little bit time in their place on the weekends, they go to community centers. So I highly encourage the board of trustees and community centers, even there's doctors, there MDs, please pursue some of those culture diversity courses, sensitivity courses, understanding where this next generation is heading and what is the demand of that. Because if you're not going to invest in them now, we're definitely going to end up losing that, as every other faith that came to this country in North America and end up losing it over the 50 and 60 years period. Guidance College goal is to maintain as much authenticity of that. So that's one of the main folks that are in leadership. I also want to come back to Islamic schools. We have a lot of great Islamic school teachers as well. But be honest to you, having a degree is not enough. You got to basically unfold a degree, understanding how can I deliver, as I mentioned some of things to you in a classroom, about the mental models, about thoughtfulness, about the students that you have here in classroom. You need to put that place into the lesson plans and in curriculum that you're going to be offering. And we have those tools that we do offer. And you will see a success. And you will see that, as a matter of fact, We have many students that who graduated from guidance college, went back into teaching predominantly in Islamic schools, and now have some of the students who graduated from guidance from the Islamic schools and coming to guidance college because that particular teacher that they graduated from guidance college inspired them to be a teacher. So that's really like heart touching for us to know that we're doing what we can do to able to generate and create the next generation of teachers as well. Because that is the primary goal for guidance college. What we do, as I said, help build leadership besides Islamic schools and the community centers as well. It's personal. I'm not trying to promote this. It gets me very emotional too when I speak about it. On the day of judgment, when there's no shade, when there's no hope, uh, and no deeds can be good enough, right? So what do am I gonna stand in front of God or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Or if I have to wish that today do I go meet Musa alayhi salam or Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, I got to have something in my, good account. Like what do I have given to this faith? So I just encourage everyone, the companions, when they will know that they're not going to get to see a glimpse of a prophet and they say goodbye to him to go to South Asia, to East Asia. So we and myself can be a Muslim today. That's a responsibility on our shoulders. So I encourage you, I challenge you, just take a one course in guidance college. If it does not change your life, obviously you have my email, you know where I am. You can always come and tell me, hey, it doesn't work for me. But I guarantee you on the day of judgment, at least you have that one hope that Allah have nothing else, but I serve and I give my best of my time and my money to learn your deen and able to serve your people. So with this, I wish you all the best. And I challenge all of you to take at least a course, at least with me. And then you will never regret it.